Good afternoon, students. So in the last class we have seen the points regarding multi-threaded programming is what are threads, how to create a thread by using runnable interface and by extending a thread class, what is a main thread, what are the thread class contains the methods, how to create multiple threads in the program. So if you see the example of creating multiple threads, we created 3 threads in the program and we have told main thread to sleep it for 10 seconds by giving 10,000 millisecond value to the sleep method of the main thread, so that all the 3 child threads which we have created be complete the task, be terminate the thread, and then allow the main thread to terminate it. So this is every time not possible to allow main thread to sleep it for more number of seconds. So as to overcome this problem, so that always the main thread executes at the last or terminates at the last, there are 2 methods we will be using. One is called as a isAlive, another is a join. So we'll see syntax, how to make use of these 2 methods in the program with an example. To make main to finish last, first you can call isAlive method on the thread. The method is defined by the thread and its syntax is like this: final boolean isAlive. Remember, final is a keyword we'll be using to say that it's a constant method. The isAlive method returns true if the thread upon which it is calling is still running, and it returns false once it terminates its assigned task. While isAlive is occasionally useful, the method that we will be more commonly using in the program to wait for a thread to finish is the join method. And the syntax of the join method is final void join throws interrupted exception. The method waits until the thread on which it is called terminates. So here is an example in which we have used both the methods, that is isAlive as well as join method. Now if you see, this is the same example whatever we have taken in the multiple thread programs. So here we have created a one class called as a thread. The name of the class is a new thread which implements a runnable interface. It contains 2 fields, one is a string and a name of type string, and another is a t of type thread. So then we have written a single parameters constructor so as to create a new thread in the program, then display its information of the newly created thread, and then start executing that thread by calling the start method. So once you call the start method, its concern run program will be invoked, run method will be invoked, and based on that it is going to display you the output. So now if you see class demo join, in which we have created 3 threads, ob1, ob2, ob3 are the name of the objects and the name of the threads are 1, 2, 3. So next what we are doing is we are checking the status of the newly created thread, whether those are alive or not. If those are alive, means those are still running, the status of that one will be displayed you as a true. If those are not still running, means they have terminated, then isAlive status will return you as a false value. So once this value will be displayed, then waiting for threads to finish. So once all 3 suppose are still in a running state, then their values will be displayed you as a true, and if they are still running, then we are telling these 3, that is ob1, ob2, ob3 on the thread 3, wait until you finish all these 3 threads to finish their task. Once it is going to finish it, once again we are going to check their status, whether still they are running or terminating, and based on that, after that we are telling main thread to complete it or exit it. So based on this, if you see, the output of the program is, first we have created 3 threads. It has shown you the information, that is name of the thread is a 1, priority is a 5, main is a group name, 2 5 main again, 3 5 main. Then after that, the next 3 statements will show you the status of the newly created threads, whether they are alive or not, means they are still running or not. So as it has shown you, true, 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 means they are running. Then waiting for threads to finish. So what is the task we have given it to each thread? That it is going to display the numbers from 5 to 1. So once each thread completes its task, that is displaying the numbers from 5 to 1, they are going to exit it. So it does not mean that the first one is going to exit first. So if you see, 2 is exiting first, then 3 is exiting, then 1 is exiting, and after that, if you display the status of the 3 threads, it is showing you false, 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 means those have completed their task and they have terminated, and after that main thread can terminate. So this is what is alive under join method you can use in the program. Instead of allowing the more number of seconds in a slip method for the main thread to pass, we can make use of this join method to wait the main method until all its child threads terminates. So next task we have is a synchronization. When 2 or more threads need access to a shared resource, they need some way to ensure that the resource will be used by only one thread at a time. The process by which this is achieved is called as a synchronization. That is nothing but what? Suppose there is a one single resource and there are 2 threads running, and both the threads want to have access to the same resource. Then at the same time, both the threads cannot have access to that shared resource. Only one thread at a time can have access to that. So this concept, we call it as a synchronization. The key to synchronization is the concept of the monitor. It is also called as semaphore. You might have studied in operating system. A monitor is an object that is used as a mutually exclusive lock, or it is also called as a mutex. Only one thread can own a monitor at a given time. When a thread acquires a lock, it is said to have entered the monitor. All other threads attempting to enter the locked monitor will be suspended until the first thread exits the monitor. These other threads are said to be waiting for the monitor. So monitor is nothing but acquiring the lock so as to have access to the shared resource. Once a one thread acquires the lock, he is the owner of that lock and he can have access to the shared resource. Once the task completed by thread by using that shared resource, he has to exit that monitor, that is, he has to release that lock. Once that lock is released by the thread, the other threads who are waiting to acquire those lock, any one of that thread will be getting that lock and they will have access to that shared resource. This is what exactly the concept of a monitor. So if you want to implement this one, we can use 2 methods over here to achieve the synchronization in the Java program. So one, we can use a synchronized method, another we can use a synchronized statement. So we'll see both. What exactly the synchronized method is, what is synchronized statement is. To enter an object's monitor, just call a method that has been modified with the synchronized keyword. While a thread is inside a synchronized method, all other threads that try to call it or any other synchronized method on the same instance have to wait. To exit the monitor and relinquish control of the object to the next waiting thread, the owner of the monitor simply returns from the synchronized method. Means once you create a thread and you call a synchronized method through the object of that newly created thread, means you have acquired the monitor or you have acquired the lock. So at the same time, no other thread can acquire the same lock on the same resource. So once you complete the task, you need to return it from the synchronized method. So any other thread who is waiting to acquire that lock, they will get access to that. So here is an example. First we'll see if we do not use a synchronized method, what exactly happens in the program, and then we'll see if we use a synchronized keyword, what exactly will be getting the output of the program. So here we have a 3 classes. One is a call me, another is a caller, and third is a synchronization. So in the call me, we have written a one method called as a call, which takes a one parameter of type string. In this call, what exactly we have done is that whatever the output of the program is there, that output of the program we want to display it within a pair of a square bracket. So if you see system.out.println, it's a opening bracket plus a message. So message value will be passing it through the main. So that message, after displaying the message, I want to have a closing bracket like that. But what exactly happens in this is that after displaying the opening bracket, you have told that thread to slip it for 1 second. And if you have told that thread to slip it for 1 second, what exactly happens is that the control of the program will jump to the caller. Which implements a runnable interface. Now if you see here, we have created a new thread and we have called a start method, and in this we are going to call this method, and based on that, what exactly happens, we'll be getting a different output. What exactly the output will get it, we'll see. Now if you see here, we have created 3 objects. So one is a OB1, OB2, OB3, and one object we have created of a call me, so as to call that call method. And whatever 3 threads we have created, for one thread we have told to display the message as a hello, for another thread it is showing the message as a synchronized, and third one it's a world. And what we have done in the main method is that we have told the main thread to wait until these 3 threads, whatever we have created, complete their task. So now if you see the output of the program, it has not shown me the first opening bracket, it has shown me the hello, then a opening bracket, then synchronized, world, then a 3 closing braces. This is because we have told that thread to slip it for 1 second. So now if you want to avoid this, what we have to do is that, so whatever this call method is there, where you want to display a method between a pair of a square bracket, you have to make this method synchronized one. So if you make this method as a synchronized one, until it completes all the task of that, the control will not jump to the another thread, and based on that you will be getting a message which is displayed between the pair of a square bracket. So here for this call method, we have to add a keyword synchronized. So we'll see here. So to fix the preceding program, you must serialize access to the call. That is, you must restrict its access to only one thread at a time. To do this, you simply need to precede call's definition with a keyword synchronized as shown here. So you have to use just a synchronized keyword, and based on that you will be getting the output like this, that is within a pair of a square bracket hello, then to the next line within a square bracket synchronized, then third line within a square bracket of a world message. So this is how we'll be getting the output if we use a synchronized keyword to the call method of a call me class. So this is a synchronized method. So next one we have is a synchronized statement. You simply put calls to the methods defined by this class inside a synchronized block. So here, instead of making the whole method as a synchronized, you can just add a one synchronized block, and to that synchronized block we need to pass a object, that is nothing but on which you need to call this synchronized block. So that object is a reference to the object being synchronized. So here we'll see the example of a synchronized block, that is nothing but synchronized statement. Same program, once again we have a call me class which contains a call method, takes a one parameter of type string. Then I want to display the message within a pair of a square bracket. Then we have a caller which implements a runnable interface, creates a new thread, calls the start method, and here synchronize calls to call. Now here what I want to do is that I want to synchronize a call method. So instead of making the call method synchronized, what I have done, I have made the target through which I'll be calling the call method synchronized target, then opening and a closing brace. Now this is nothing but a synchronized block. So as this is a synchronized block, what exactly you have done is inside the synchronized block target.call. So it goes to the call method, whatever the message you have displayed in that, it is going to display within a pair of a square bracket. Then the control of the program will be given to the next thread who is waiting to display its own message, which is nothing but a thread 2, which is OB2, which want to display the message as a synchronized. So again it calls the run method. At that time the target, again you have locked that call method. So synchronized within a pair of a square bracket it will be displayed, and then the control of the program will be given to the third thread which want to display the message world within a pair of a square bracket. So join, already we have seen the usage of a join. We have told the main thread to wait until all the three threads completes the task. So this is what exactly the synchronization topic is there. So only left is a last part which is called as a inter-thread communication. Inter-thread communication, in which we are going to see the three types of examples. One is a producer consumer problem, bounded buffer problem, and reader writer problem, that we'll see in the next class.